And welcome back to Oshawa Generals Hockey here on OntarioSportsRadio.com. No score in the first intermission between the Generals and the Bulls. Now joined by a very special guest, Cole Cassels of the Oshawa Generals. Cole, first of all, congratulations on your new deal with the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, so walk us through the process of working out that deal with the Canucks. How does it work, and where do you start, and where does it end up?
I think it starts just first day of camp, showing up ready to play, and you play. Depends on how hard you work and where it gets you, and then from there on, it's just letting your agent do the work with the GM and the Canucks organization, and I think they interacted well, and today was a very exciting day.
So you get drafted by the same organization that took your dad in the 4th round of 1987. Of course, 4th round now is about roughly where you went.
Yeah.
What was that like to be drafted by the same organization as your dad?
It's a pretty neat experience. I mean, playing in the same spot as my dad eventually would be a dream come true, and it's something I'll work for.
What was the draft day experience like? Obviously, most kids say it's such a blur that you don't even remember it, but what do you remember that really stood out for your draft year? And when you were picked, did you know that was the team that you were going to go to?
I guess they're right. I mean, it really was a blur. I mean, the days leading up to it was really fun, being around New York City, walking around, just letting your head go free and not worrying about it. But, draft day comes, and I actually had no idea where I was going. I heard a bunch of different things, so I'm very happy to have ended up in Vancouver.
Well, you got some good teammates from that draft as well. What was rookie camp like going in with guys like Horvat and Shinkarik? Obviously, you played against Horvat before, but what's it like being a teammate and just kind of seeing a guy like that?
I actually knew Bowie from U17s and minor hockey and summer hockey, so we've had a relationship before the draft, but just rekindling that friendship is pretty strong, and he's just a great guy and an even better hockey player. So, I'm looking forward to the future with him, Shinkarik, Subban, and the rest of the Canucks.
Well, what did Vancouver say? Obviously, the coaching staff has a lot of input around the rookie camp when you go up in, I do believe, July. What did they say that they wanted to see you improve on for this season? And do you feel like you've been able to accomplish some of that?
Strength in the summer, and I think I put on some good weight, not the healthy weight, the strength weight, and just you got to get bigger if you want to play in the pros, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on the next several summers.
Does having a dad that played in the National Hockey League make it easier for your expectations because you'd be able to bounce ideas off of him or, concerns or anything like that? Does it make it easier to be ready for what's awaiting you past this OHL level?
Yeah, I guess not so much easier, but more prepared, and, I'm very fortunate to have had him along the way. I mean, without him, I wouldn't be where I was. He's taught me everything I know, and, he's my greatest mentor and best coach I've ever had.
He played, when he was playing, he played in a lot of cities, so you bounce around a lot, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate how hard it is for a family to move around. What can you say about that experiencing it as a kid, moving from, Vancouver, you're in Columbus, you're in Calgary, Hartford? What's that like?
I was young enough that it was fun. Going to the morning skates with my dad, I wouldn't change anything about the past. It was it made me who I am today, and it was a fun experience moving around, I thought.
You've had a couple of strong teams. This is obviously your 3rd year now with the Generals. Last year's team, quite strong. The year before, also strong. Now this year's team, people thought, they're not going to be that good. But all of a sudden, you guys look better than any other team that's been in the last couple of years. What do you attribute to that success?
Coaching and buying in, I think. We're all playing for each other here, and, we're playing for the older guys. The older guys are playing for the younger guys. So, I think it's just an all-around group effort, and, sky's the limit for us right now. If we can keep playing disciplined, simple hockey, I think, this team can do something special.
Well, you used to be a young guy on the team, and you talk to guys like Boone Jenner, and you got, your Tyler Biggs and stuff. What do you pick up from them, and do you feel like you've been able to implement that yourself as an older guy on the team now?
Leadership's a big thing in this league, and I was lucky enough to live with Andy Andrioff my first year, who was an overager, and he taught me a lot about the league and, respect. He was a well-respected player, and I think to be respected, you have to respect other players. And, Boone, I played with him for 2 years. He's one of the hardest, if not the hardest working player I've ever played with. So, guys like that really put things into perspective of how hard you need to work and, have a respect for the game, but also have fun.
What do you think of what Scott Lawton's brought to the lineup? Obviously, when he wasn't in the lineup, you go 2-2, it's a little bit of an even start, and then all of a sudden he comes in and you guys go on a crazy run, a couple of 5-game winning streaks, I do believe 3 of them. What has he meant to the locker room and to you to have him back in the lineup?
Oh, he's such a tremendous talent. I mean, he has so much skill and ability on the ice, but the great thing about Lottie is how good of a person he is and how great of a leader he is. I mean, he's got a lot of charisma, and inside the room it's a whole different world with Lottie in there. And he's a funny guy. He's a character, but when it comes down to game time, he's all business, and he'll work as hard as he can for us. And in return, he hopes that the teammates work as hard as for him.
You guys have a lot of rookies in the lineup so far this year. They've all played exceptionally well, from what I can tell. How big is that to have them in the lineup, and how have you been able to make them feel more comfortable? Because I see it on the bus, they feel like, they've been around for just as many years as maybe you have.
Just like having respect. Everyone's a younger guy once in their lifetime, so we know what it's like, and, it's intimidating coming in, but if you're going to want to do something, go far with a team, I think you have to, all be equal and all be treated the same, and they have respect for us, and we have respect for them, so I think it's working out well.
Everybody knows about Michael Dowcole. That's the easy one, that he's the young guy that everybody kind of knows is going to be the leader for this team. But who in your mind is really, going under the radar, but you guys feel amongst the leadership group on the team that this is a player to watch out for later on in his career?
Van de Sample for sure. Also Sam Harding, I think. Both true rookies in this league that have impressed me, as well as the coaching staff, I would think. I mean, Van de Sample's gifted offensively, and he's a great skater. And Sam's one of the smartest young guys I've seen in the league. He's very responsible in his own zone. He wins draw, and I think they're both going to be special players.
You see guys getting scratched and coming in and out of the lineup. Do you kind of feel for them, seeing them, bounce in and out, or is that just part and parcel of the game? And do you have any words for them when they're being pulled out that maybe lightens their mood a little bit?
I think it's part of the game, right? Everyone's going to go through it once in their lifetime, just a matter of when. If you're in juniors or in the pros, it's part of it, and you can't get down on yourself. It's just, keep your head up, keep working. Little things go very noticed with coaching staff like this, and it's just something that's going to happen.
What can you say about DJ Smith, though? Because he's made, you talk about the coaching staff, he's made so many moves. When you guys were top-heavy to start October, he all of a sudden starts mixing in and putting grinders on certain lines, stuff like that. How big has he been for your development as a player and for this team in general?
For me, he's been huge. I mean, he's given me all the opportunity in the world this year, and last year as well. I mean, I was stuck behind Boone and Scott, but I still think for what he could, he did give me the opportunity I needed. He got me drafted. He's got me signed potentially. So I have nothing but great things to say about DJ, what he's done for me personally. As this team, he's brought us together and taught us how to play disciplined hockey and put some wins together.
All right, well, Cole, we'd like to thank you for joining us here today, and best of luck in the rest of your career, and hopefully we see you back in the lineup. Is there an update as to when you might be back?
I'm shooting for Friday here. I mean, I'm going to skate tomorrow, and that's the plan right now is Friday.
All right, well, that is Cole Cassels of the Oshawa Generals and future Vancouver Canucks. We'll head to a commercial break. You're listening to Oshawa Generals Hockey here on OntarioSportsRadio.com.